Welcome to Space Nexus. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. Good evening. Tonight, the American auto industry faces a crisis. Honda and Toyota are considering closing their U.S. plants, a move triggered by new Trump administration trade policies. This isn't just about business. Tens of thousands of American jobs and the stability of entire communities are at risk. The story began with tariffs meant to protect U.S. industries, but instead, they've sparked a damaging trade war. Japanese automakers, who've built cars in America for decades, now say the new rules make it too expensive to stay. Their choice: absorb billions in losses, or leave the U.S. altogether. The impact? Higher car prices, lost jobs, and economic uncertainty for towns across the nation. For years, Japanese auto plants in states like Kentucky and Ohio brought jobs and hope to struggling regions. Now that success story is in jeopardy. Companies are even eyeing Canada as a more stable alternative. The stakes for the U.S. economy are enormous. Tonight, we'll break down what's happening, why it matters, and who stands to lose the most. We'll hear from workers, experts, and those on the front lines. This is a defining moment for American manufacturing. The decisions made now will shape the economic landscape for years. The question: who pays the price in this international showdown? Increasingly, it looks like the American worker. The U.S. and Japanese auto industries have a long, complicated history. In the 1970s and 80s, Japanese fuel-efficient cars surged in popularity, challenging American giants like Ford and GM. The U.S. responded with export limits to protect domestic jobs. Japanese automakers adapted by building plants in America, Honda in Ohio, Toyota in Kentucky. This strategy created thousands of U.S. jobs and blurred the lines between foreign and American cars. A Toyota Camry built in Kentucky could have more U.S. content than a Ford made in Mexico. This global supply chain relied on stable trade rules, but that stability is gone. The Trump administration's America First tariffs have upended decades of cooperation. Now, every automaker must rethink its strategy. The partnership that built factories and jobs across the heartland faces its toughest test yet. The old road has ended. The path forward is uncertain. The stakes: jobs, investment, and the future of American manufacturing. The next chapter is being written right now. The crisis escalated when the Trump administration imposed a sweeping 25% tariff on most imported vehicles. The goal: boost U.S. production. The result: chaos for a global industry built on cross-border supply chains. Automakers faced billions in new costs overnight. Then, a new U.S.-Japan trade deal lowered tariffs on Japanese imports to 15%, but left higher tariffs on cars from Canada and Mexico, even if they used mostly U.S. parts. This uneven system put North American factories at a huge disadvantage. Japanese automakers now say the complex tariffs make their U.S. operations unprofitable. Integrated supply chains, where a part made in Ohio might end up in a car assembled in Canada, are now penalized. The new rules punish the very system that brought investment and jobs to the U.S. The financial impact has been swift. Toyota posted a $438 million loss in North America last quarter. The company has started raising prices for American consumers. Tariffs, meant to help the U.S., are now threatening to drive out major employers. Cars are getting more expensive for everyone. The industry is destabilized. The question: can anyone win this trade war? For now, the pain is spreading. And the future of U.S. auto manufacturing hangs in the balance. The numbers are staggering. Honda and Toyota directly employ over 55,000 Americans across 18 plants in 13 states. If these factories close, the shockwaves will devastate local economies. But the impact goes further. For every assembly line job, many more exist at suppliers, making tires, glass, electronics. The Economic Policy Institute warns that closures could cost up to 410,000 additional jobs. That's nearly 500,000 livelihoods at risk. The financial toll is just as severe. Ford, GM, and Stellantis build millions of vehicles in Canada and Mexico, now hit with the highest tariffs. Ford alone expects $2 billion in extra costs this year. Toyota's North American losses are mounting. The tariffs are wiping out profits and forcing companies to consider drastic moves. The pain is felt by foreign and domestic automakers alike. The ultimate price, paid by American workers and consumers. The industry's future is on the line. The stakes, jobs, communities, and the backbone of the U.S. economy. The clock is ticking. Plant closures threaten more than jobs, they threaten entire communities. In many towns, the auto plant is the economic engine. Paychecks support local businesses, taxes fund schools and services. Take Georgetown, Kentucky. Toyota employs nearly 10,000 people, 1/3 of the county's workforce. If the plant closes, unemployment could skyrocket overnight. The devastation would echo the Great Depression. Similar stories loom in Indiana, Alabama, and Ohio, places built around these factories. The threat has already frozen future investments. Toyota's planned battery plant in North Carolina, promising 5,100 high-tech jobs, is now in jeopardy. The tariffs threaten not just today's jobs but tomorrow's opportunities in electric vehicles. Uncertainty makes long-term investment impossible. For families who built their lives around these jobs, the anxiety is real. Political decisions in Washington are reshaping daily life in America's heartland. These communities face a future they never imagined. Their survival hangs in the balance. The stakes are personal and profound. American car companies are also caught in the crossfire. The new US-Japan trade deal created an uneven playing field. Japanese imports face a 15% tariff, but US brands building cars in Canada or Mexico pay 25%. This penalizes North American production and gives Japanese rivals an edge. The American Automotive Policy Council calls it a bad deal. A policy meant to help US companies is now hurting them, especially those with integrated North American operations. Ford expects over $2 billion in tariff costs this year, money that could have gone to innovation or US jobs. Instead, it's lost to tariffs. The result, all major automakers, foreign and domestic, are feeling the squeeze. The industry is destabilized, competition is tougher than ever, and the future of American auto manufacturing is at risk. To grasp the real impact, listen to those living it. Industry experts warn the current trade policy misunderstands how the global auto industry works. Jennifer Safavian, CEO of Autos Drive America, urges the U.S. to negotiate fair tariffs with all major partners. Analysts say the policy punishes companies that invested billions and created U.S. jobs. Workers feel betrayed. A Kentucky Toyota employee says, "We did everything right. Now it could all disappear because of politics." The anxiety ripples through the supply chain. A small Ohio parts supplier says, "If Honda leaves, we close. It's that simple." These are not just numbers, they're lives and communities at stake. The current path is leading to economic pain for those the policies were meant to protect. The message from the front lines is clear. Change is needed. Stability and fairness are essential for the industry's survival. The stakes are real and growing. As Japanese automakers rethink their US future, Canada looks increasingly attractive. Canada offers stability, a skilled workforce, and access to global markets, without the tariff chaos. For Toyota and Honda, moving north could mean lower costs and fewer headaches. If US operations become too unpredictable, companies may consolidate in Canada or Mexico, bypassing the American market. This would reroute the North American auto industry and leave the US on the sidelines. The loss isn't just jobs and tax revenue. It's also about losing the future, high-tech manufacturing, and electric vehicle investment. Toyota's threatened battery plant in North Carolina was key to America's EV ambitions. If that investment goes to Canada, the US falls further behind in green technology. Ironically, America First policies may accelerate the decline of US manufacturing. Canada stands to gain from America's policy mistakes. The stakes: leadership in the next generation of auto innovation. What does this mean for you? First, expect car prices to keep rising, no matter the brand. The uneven tariff system makes every car more expensive to build. The dream of an affordable new car is slipping away for many families. The potential loss of 500,000 jobs could trigger a recession in several states. The health of U.S. manufacturing is at risk. America's reputation as a stable place for investment is on the line. The decisions made now will shape the country's economic future. This isn't just politics. It's about your wallet, your community, and your future. Stay informed. Your voice matters. The road ahead for the American auto industry is being decided right now.